bit late coming. It's actually February the 4th, and this is the first time this year I've had a chance to come down and look at the allotment, let alone do any filming. So all I'm going to do today is just basically name me and shame me about the lack of work that's been going on at the allotment for the last couple of months. It's all pretty much as I left it. So yeah, we're going to have a look round, and I'll show you what happens when you ignore somewhere. Okay?
Anyway, here we've got the garlic, the early purple white, which was planted in November, 7th of November. And I've planted them in individual pots after a tip from Graham at Graham's Kitchen Garden. And I can't remember if he said he grows them for the full time. What's the word? I'm trying to balance the microphone. But their lifespan in the pots, or whether you start them off in the pots and then plant them out. But anyway, they're doing really well. But they look quite dry on the top. And then, look what's happened. I've just picked this one up. Look at this. Look at that. That's a healthy plant, isn't it? So whether that carries on in the pot or I put that out, that is going to be a good plant. And I'm just going to pick up this one at the back as well, because that's a nice big one. I mean, they are on soil, so... Oh, crikey, I can't. Look at that. Okay. Okay, so that's well rooted. So... I could do with a tip here. Do I leave them to carry on growing where they are, because they seem to have rooted in the soil, or should I dig them up and plant them outside? Bearing in mind, last year we got that blooming onion fly thing. Okay, so what would you do? Let me know. Rhubarb's doing well. You can't go wrong with rhubarb, can you? If I give you a bit of perspective here. Oh, as I stand up, it looks tiny at the moment, and it's it's hard to imagine in a way that is actually going to cover. Look, you reckon all that area? I'm actually holding the mic here. Look, I haven't held the mic. It's going to cover all this area around here. So yeah, all from that tiny bit of shoot there. But yeah, beautiful. If you haven't grown rhubarb and you've got a space for it, grow it. It's one of the best things. There we go. I think Mrs. Frog on the left there has seen better days. she's a candle. She's a wax candle. So I suppose if you're a creature made of wax out in all elements, you're going to end up looking like that. That's how I've looked really over the winter, with various viruses and things like that. So yeah, she's still smiling. Anyway, this is the pond. We put this pond in last year, and the whole point of the pond was to try and get some more wildlife in. So that is my excuse for not using this space for growing fruit or veg, is to actually try and encourage frogs, birds, etc, etc. And so it was only planted up last year, and it was planted up with bits and pieces from the garden at home, and just like tiny bits of them, and actually already you can see the space around the pond is starting to fill. One thing I did last year was, and I'll probably do it in a couple of weeks, I've got loads of pots with tulips and different bulbs in, so I'll start to bring them back out excuse me, and put them around the pond again, and it really did give an absolutely beautiful display. And after that we had there were lots of different annuals and perennials which cropped right up until September. Really lovely. So yeah, love this pond. It was a good move putting it in. Wasn't here this time last year. We'll see how it does this year. I took a chance with my dahlias this year though. Last year I only had a few, and I took them in the shed and dried them out, and when I replanted them, only about 50% came back. So I know someone who left all their dahlias in their garden last year and they were absolutely fine, so I thought I'd do the same. But my poor old Arabian Night, if we just take a look, in fact I'm going to pull this up, it's not doing any good at all, you can see just how that there has turned to mush. And that's because it's been frosted, because actually it's been a very cold winter. So I've lost my Arabian Night. I can't see where I had the others. I did have a few in pots, which I'm hoping are okay. They were still outside, but they were in pots. But they were a bit more sheltered. So I'm going to try and find them, see if they're all right. But yeah, that's a lesson there. Don't risk it. If you really want to keep something, don't risk leaving them out. Look after your plants. Look after your plants. One thing that I found when I was clearing the herbs away at the end of the last season, I don't know if you remember, but there was this rosemary in the middle here, and I'd completely forgotten about it because I've got lemon balm that side, mint on this side, and although they're both in buckets, they're so vigorous that they'd completely enveloped it. So I promised that this year this was going to have pride of place somewhere, because look at it, bless it, it's got some beautiful, it's one of the only green things we've got in the garden at the minute, but that is looking fairly healthy. I'm not going to risk digging it up now. I'll give it about a month, and then I'll take it up and put it somewhere in more of an exposed position, a sunny spot. Right. Answers on a postcard, please. And the kale, still plenty of it, but if you have a look at the top, you can see where it's had fresh shoots. I blame the pigeon. The birds have certainly been down and had a good old peck at all the fresh greenery, but you know what, there's plenty of it, plenty for us to share. If we only had one plant, I'd be quite cross, but yeah, we've possibly grown too much kale this year. There was someone on the UK Here We Grow Facebook page was talking about adding kale powder to their stew, and it was purely because they didn't like the taste of kale, but they knew it was good for you, so they dried it and turned it into powder. Never tried that before. There's a couple of nearer there. What do you think? Have you tried that? It's an interesting one, isn't it? Let me know. Strawberry bed left pretty much as it was at the end of the season. Still could do with a bit of weeding. The leaves I'm just leaving. I might give them a good clear round when it warms up a bit more, but it's still early days. As far as I'm concerned, those leaves are protecting the soil. I worry about pests and things like that when the weather warms up a bit, but yeah, still plenty of green on there. Hopefully a good crop this year. I'm actually really pleased with the broad beans. I mean, these were from some seeds we were given by Alan. Remember Alan with the giant squash? And considering they've been completely neglected, they've come really well. Okay, yes, there's gaps, but those gaps, you know what? We can fill them with new plants and other seeds. There is still plenty of time. So we've got, when did I plant these? Can't remember when I planted them. I think it was November. All I did was push them in the soil and they've come. And there's nothing like fresh broad beans. They are gorgeous. So hopefully we'll have a good harvest of those this year. In fact, I might even, this is really difficult because look, I'm actually having to hold the mic and at the same time I'm trying to point at things because the mount's broken on the camera. Oh, sorry, right, okay. This bit here, I think we're going to plant this up with broad beans as well, and that bit there, because I really like them, and you can freeze them. So yeah, happy with them. Here's a question. Found this pot of leeks that we were given many months ago and completely forgotten about, but they actually look okay. What do you think? Do you think I could put those in? Would they do anything? I'm not going to do it now, but you know, are they still viable? Would they still grow into full-grown leeks? Let me know. And this is where we left the runner beans to to rot down on the surface. You can see they haven't quite rotted down as I'd hoped yet, but when the soil's had a chance to dry out a little bit more, I will certainly be digging these in. Because, I mean, if you look, let's just see, the soil actually, I'll do that with my foot there, we've actually got really nice soil, but it is just that well compact. I don't want to go walking on it, I don't want to go playing around with that until it's had more of a chance to dry out and warm up a bit. So this will Take no time whatsoever to dig in, she says. But until then, it does look like a right tip. Fruit cage? Nothing to say really. I mean, again, this time last year this wasn't here. It took a long time faffing on with this, so that is time we're going to save this year. Have a look at this black currant though. Now I did prune this back a bit, but obviously it needs another really hard prune, so I'm not going to do that today, but certainly in the next week or two. Some gooseberries at the back there, and raspberries. Oh my goodness, we've still got a freezer full of raspberries from last year, but they're beautiful. Put them right down. I'm hoping they were autumn flowering or autumn fruiting raspberries. They did fruit in the autumn. If there were summer fruiting ones, I've just done for the whole crop, but let's hope we have a harvest like last year. It was gorgeous.
So there we go. Not a lot has changed really. I mean, the fact is, it's been winter. Everything's been dormant. So the allotment can put up with being ignored for a period of time. Whereas if I'd ignored it at any point at all during March and September, you'd have come back after a month and everything would have been up here. Weeds, crops, everything. And I'd have cried. But as it is, not a lot's been going on. It's all been sort of pretty much everything's been hibernating. A bit like me. Yeah, I feel like I'm just starting to come out of hibernation now. I think I would have been a bear in a previous life, because certainly around about October I start to slow down, and if I could I'd just go to bed for a few months, and the first sign of a bit of blue sky like we've had today and I start peeking outside the cave and getting quite excited. But yeah, plenty of time to get things started. I know a lot of you have got your allotments really organised, got your seeds sorted and everything. I've done none of that yet. I haven't even got my potatoes, so I've got quite a bit of catching up to do, but I will catch up, I will. Something that I am quite excited about though, and I'm going to do a little bit of absolutely shameless self-promotion here, is I've opened a shop selling garden related t-shirts. There's going to be mugs, there's going to be prints, all sorts of bits and bobs, and of course this is why I'm sitting here like a nit in a t-shirt on what is actually turning out to be quite a cold afternoon in February, because I wanted to show you one of the designs. Hold on, here we go. There we go. Look, it's all made up of different things. Right, okay, so yeah. So not going to go on about it too much because I'm absolutely rubbish at promoting things. But yeah, if you do want to have a little look at the t-shirts, not just this, there's a few other designs as well, please go and visit the shop. I'll put a link to my Etsy shop underneath, and also if you're part of the UK Here We Grow community, go along there, and their website has got a link. It's got a shop on it with the t-shirts on, and they're on special offer, so go along and have a look there as well. So anyway, that's enough of that, and I'm going to put my jumper back on because I'm really cold. But yeah, what a time of year. Someone on Gardener's Question Time the other day said it's nearly February, which of course it is now, which means that it's nearly March, which means that it's nearly spring, and you can start thinking now. It's sort of, we're almost there to that time of the year where I think we all love. It's manic, it's mad, it's really, really busy. There's never enough time to do everything you want to do in the garden, but it's so exciting because you start with all the things that are going to start coming, and that's great. Okay, that's enough now. I'm going to go home and get a warm cup of tea. I'll probably get a virus again now, all for sitting here in a t-shirt. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the little look around. I hope you're okay wherever you are, and I hope next time I might actually be getting some work done. Okay, see you soon. Bye.